Sound resumed. Microphone activated.
And hello everybody, and welcome to House Party 5v5 EU West. I'll be your host today, Good Bro Joe, and joining me is Grang. And how are you doing today, good sir?
I'm doing marvelous, and you know what? I think so are the teams this first game of the in-house tournament, and gonna see how much action we're gonna get today.
I'm looking forward to this. We've had a lot of enthusiasm, and let's get straight in with the bans. So first bans we're seeing coming through, we've got blue side, Galio and Vega, and red side, Fiora and Mordekaiser. Not quite sure of the Galio ban myself, but I do like the Fiora and Mordekaiser, especially strong at the minute. Especially that Mordekaiser coming through really hard in that bot lane.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see that blue team is kind of banning. I feel like they're banning against certain people on the red side, whilst the red side is banning like overall strong champions.
Yeah, so we've got a Warwick and a Zed coming through as well. Warwick I feel is actually a pretty good ban. I really don't like those solo queue Warwicks who run around and do havoc. Zed a really good mid lane as well. First pick coming through for blue side is Orianna, and that's going to be straight up followed by purple team's Yasuo. The Yasuo Orianna lane, I'm not too sure how that sort of pans out very well. I feel it's a lot more based down to the skill of the players themselves. Orianna obviously with a lot of protection for herself, but Yasuo can deal so much damage so quickly with the maneuverability of dashing in and out. I feel it's really down to sort of the players themselves and their own confidence.
Yeah, and of course Yasuo could be just a flex pick, could go on to that top lane. Let's see if he can, if he will actually just change up those summoners.
Yeah. Jinx coming through as well. I like Jinx as a blind AD carry. I think she can do a lot in team fights, especially with those rockets doing the big crits, and obviously that ultimate always having that lovely global pressure. Hovering over the Master Yi at the minute, really strong on the Devourer patch, but maybe seeing an Italy coming through?
Could be making us feel a little bit tension, but it's Italy.
I expect a lot of early game players coming through from this Nidalee, or I would hope so. I do love a good Nidalee who gets into ganks really quickly, with some really good vision control as well, getting the enemy jungle, seeing if they can get any counter jungling underway. Tristana into the Jinx, it's sort of a safe lane as well. Jinx doing a lot of damage. Janna, if you want to talk about safety, you've got none better at disengage as well. She's going to bring a lot into the team fights, so if they do want to jump in with that Nidalee or the Fresh, the Janna's going to be there for tornadoes, ultimates, just to keep them straight out of the faces.
Yeah, very nice disengaged champion, and also they had a little bit more protection. So it almost smells like Protect the Kog'Maw, but it's not a Kog'Maw, it's a Jinx. But Jinx is also very good hyper carry basically for that late game with protection of those shields and the wild growth from
There's a lot of, I think the main thing to take away though is that's a lot of knockup for that Yasuo. There's so many initiations just for his ultimate that they could get some serious wombo off. Shen coming through in the top lane, safe lane, has seen a few little changes himself, but I don't think that's going to hurt him too bad, especially if it's a Lulu. But as you said, there could be a flex pick, it could be a Yasuo heading top, and that'll be an interesting lane. I think Shen will probably get a little bit bullied in that lane, depending on how he starts off.
Yeah, see that the Yasuo has changed for TP, and I would expect so. Pixel is a top lane player, and he is basically mainly Tryndamere, and Yasuo potatoes.
So that's a Fresh coming through in the bot side. Again, I feel their team is very much on picking people out. They've also got some really strong engage with Orianna balls on the Nidalee, on the Shen, even on the Fresh sometimes if he gets that really good hook off. But overall I feel their team is just wanting to either pick people out or just push in towers really strong. And the Echo jungle, a safe jungler, we'll see if he goes tank or full AP. And let's get into this game.
Yeah, what is the theory that Echo, despite not building tank, still does massive amounts of damage?
Yeah, there's so much damage in that kit. I mean, the true damage proxy gets especially off like. Once he gets those sort of stacks going, he can just become some kind of little monster. Even that's sort of why Cinderhulk is pretty good on him though, because he has quite a lot of base damage himself, so he doesn't necessarily need to amp it up to still be some kind of impact, especially in team fights when he can drop down that big shield, get some stun on a few people, and then just start hitting faces just for fun.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky stun to pull off. You have to like imagine what the enemy team is going to do.
Yeah.
Do 2 more moves to that, and you outplay them with the shield. Maybe putting it to the shield and then cutting them off from behind, making them run to the side, and then getting the stuff there.
Yeah, I would really like to see the Nidalee invade early. I think if they can put a lot of pressure on, she can really possibly make a little bit of play over by one of the buffs, maybe. Echo isn't that brilliant early on because he doesn't really have that much in his kit for survivability straight away. It sort of depends how he builds, and even if he does have the W, still has quite a long cooldown on it. So I think Nidalee could really just jump on him and do a lot of damage, either get first blood or even just push him off a buff and potentially get a free buff start.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, it's there's not much really to add on that. Covering all the bases there. 1 minute to go until we get to the first game.
I mean, how do you feel like these lanes are going to sort of push straight away? So we'll start with top lane. How do you feel that that's going to sort of balance out? Do you think it's going to push blue side, red, or purple side?
Well, this is going to be really tricky because I feel that Yasuo would push in that lane, but because of Pixel, I think he is kind of pushing it, but not so hard, like trying to keep it in his favor.
Yeah, I feel he's definitely got to be worried about that Nidalee. That's sort of like the problem with going into a Nidalee though, is she provides so much fear of sort of, could she just come out of a bush out of nowhere, land a spear and get some serious damage off? And he's really got to be aware of that. So pushing him under turret would be pretty good because he might be able to deny quite a bit of CS, but he's really got to watch himself when he's doing that split pushing. And I would like to see how they execute this if they're going to go for a split pushing comp.
Alright,
User was moved out of your channel.
We're now getting into the loading screen, and I'd like to remind you all to join into the conversation on Twitter using the hashtag HouseParty5v5.
Yep, and certainly also go reach out to us on Facebook at HouseParty5v5 EU West. And also catch us on the Reddit, which is reddit.com/r/HouseParty5v5 EU West. So standard start from both sides. Sort of exhausts coming out on the support, so we shouldn't expect something too aggressive there. Ignites on the mids, so possibly some early aggression. I would certainly like to see something a little bit aggressive early on from this Orianna, possibly trying to push out the Lulu and put some pressure on her CSing under turret. But I think either way it's going to be quite a safe lane. They're not going to feel too pressured sort of when they do get pushed in. They've got sort of bits in their kit to keep them in the CS. So like Orianna's got that ball to just chuck around willy-nilly, and Lulu's just got the autos with the passive.
Yeah. A little bit delay, and now we're into the game.
Yep, and here we go.
I know.
Alright, so we're seeing the items coming out straight away. Looks like a very standard start. Fresh going for that relic shield.
Yeah, that's really interesting because Thresh can go for relic shield, but it's starting to, or has started to move forward that they pick up the coin.
Yeah. I mean, the coin just provides so much mobility though once you get it going. Once you get that upgraded and get the talisman, it just means you can get so much pressure. It's basically like Righteous Glory, just straight away. And because it's on such a low cooldown, you can, if you use it well, you can get some serious engage. But Relic Shield's also good. It provides a lot of safety, and especially means that their lane will be a lot more sustained from those heals.
Yeah, red team actually going for a 5-man invade onto the red side jungle. They find Nidalee and the trap, just clear it out and put a ward onto the red buff, and now they have that knowledge that Nidalee is going to start on the blue side of the map.
Yeah, I think this is smart. It's good to know where it is early.
Yeah, most definitely. It's best to know, like, during the whole game of where the jungler is. It's like playing against Evelyn. You always want to know where she is.
Yeah. I mean, it's always worrying when you've got that sort of early game demon who can just jump in and do some damage. Never want to give away that first blood, and it's just always such a worry that she might get that free buff start.
Yeah, we'll see if Echo goes for the red buff still after he takes the blue buff. If he does, he could get a 3 buff for himself.
Bell starting a camp as well, really strong. I like when top laners do start a camp because it means they get such an advantage in lane. Once they hit that level 2 spike, it just means they put a lot more pressure on the other laner. Not going to miss too much either. Looks like 3 minions going to go down before he gets back.
Yeah, a very nice. Very... Well, it's not good, but it's a nice trade.
Yeah, it's net ahead, so it's
yeah.
Already starting to get those dashes in.
Yasuo is showing those moves like an ice skate dancer.
There you
She
go.
goes in,
That's
gets a knock-up.
nice. That's nice, that. I really like the early damage from Yasuo. I feel that the more he pushes him in, the more advantage he's going to build for himself. Especially that he's already starting to pull away in CS. There's a wave built up, but it's not a huge wave. Nidalee's going to go for the safe as well. She's just going to her own buff, clearing that out, and then possibly looking bottom, because bottom's getting quite pushed up right now, and they don't have vision from the bottom side jungle.
Yeah, but it has to be... I would think that she would go for it, because she's like half health, and that gank could very easily go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to get the heals off. Do scuttle first, that's not bad, but she's going to be spotted out bottom there. Feel that they know what they're doing.
He's actually going for a gank.
Yep.
Red team noticed it, backs away.
Ooh, good juke there. Oh,
But the jet still hits, but no follow-up. Nearly over being at the Dragon bit for the time being. And Yasuo is still very much pushed in. I mean, that would be a second good lane for Nidalee to gank.
Yeah, I mean, once you get that, once you see that the jungler's bomb side, he's just free to just go ham. Just push in the wave as freely as possible, and he hasn't got to worry about the jungle pressure for a little bit while she rotates top.
Yeah, already a few.
Yeah, that CS advantage is strong.
Doesn't help that Yasuo keeps poking despite not being the pokiest of champions.
Ken's only really got the Q, but at the minute he's just trying to use it to farm, but like little misses here and there are just making him get further and further behind. You can already see 17 minion deficit. We're only 5 minutes into the game.
Really, actually, first one to pull the trigger onto the counter jungle, taking the raptor camp, and is now pinging onto the top side of the map.
Liking this echo movement though.
And there is no wards at the moment. Nidalee is unspotted. Then goes in with the taunt, spear not landing. Yasuo is gonna gas right through Nidalee. See if Nidalee can get another spear to follow it up. But Yasuo keeps fighting. That's a 1v2, I'm not sure you wanna do that. Goes pretty bit low, gets enough up, but there's the flash, and the cooker hits first blood for Nidalee. But Echo is doing a counter camp onto the bottom lane this time. Tristana getting hit by the jumpers, that's a stun, a kill for the Echo, and Thresh having to flash away, but Echo follows it up. The flash himself, there's the exhaust, I'm not sure if he can get the kill, is it? No lucky strike, but the zap hits! Very nice.
That's what I was saying. It's such a good gank, and the way he set that up by coming through lane. They knew there was no wards in the bottom side bushes, so he just came through lane, no idea, and just comes out. The chompers were great, and now they could even transition this into a dragon.
Yeah, 6-minute dragon. Not the earliest, but it's still pretty early.
Pretty good, especially when you're
trying to get the spear. Actually, has the vision now. Is he gonna jump in? Tries to get the steal. Gets the steal against 3 members and a smite, and then lands a spear on his going away party.
Excellent. There's
Yeah,
nothing they could really do there. I mean, Nidalee had full health, so they didn't really have a lot of kill pressure. There was very much on the other side, and just no way to really contest that. Really good counter jungling though, and just getting that steal.
Yeah, Echo actually panic smite it, so that made it even more secure for Nidalee to pick up.
And I feel that first blood was... I'm not sure how I feel about that from the Yasuo. He played way too aggressive there, and I feel he should have just backed away. Bill had his flash, and that was just such a needless death, I want to say.
Yeah, showing a little bit over correction with there, and now Echo tries to do a gank over the Raptor camp. Doesn't even go through with it, just throws down the barrel convergence to show Orianna that hey, I'm here, I might come for you later.
Yeah, definitely. You want to show that presence, so at least you can try and dissuade, but Orianna's just going to push this into turret. Starting to pull ahead in CS as well in the mid lane, so that's a 12 CS lead. See Lulu going for like the Chalice, and she seems to be rushing straight for that Fiends. It's not uncommon. I mean, she's just wants that magic resist and the ability to just spam Qs touched straight at the Orianna. But
yeah, we actually see that Janna got hit by the Jets and is causing damage, but no kill. But now both junglers having a party on the top lane. Shen goes in with the taunt, only hits Yasuo though, and Yasuo not hitting that knockup. And action still going on bottom lane. Dress is in a lot of trouble, and he gets just rocketed. And the siege on top lane is still going on. But it's not a real siege, it's just looking at the minions.
They have no real pressure here. I mean, you've got the Echo Q, but that's all the sort of pressure you have, other than a Yasuo wind tornado. I mean, it's just nothing to really siege up with. So you're basically just standing there having a staring contest.
Yeah, Shen goes in with the taunt, is just millimeters away from getting the turret aggro on him, but now Yasuo is very low. Orianna has come, but that flash from Yasuo and a parallel convergence hitting 2 members of the blue team. But Echo can't really follow it up with anything else. Very low on mana. Ooh, Overstay rotated top, and now she's getting sandwiched by the blue team. There's the shockwave coming in, hits Root, and there's the Orianna, but the Wild Croc but the Shen goes in with a flash taunt and gets the kill. Gets ignited by Lulu, but doesn't go down thanks to the heal.
TP coming in as well.
Yeah, that was just a TP back to lane.
Yeah, he just really needs that CS. So at the minute he's only sitting on about 300 gold right now. He just really wants to finish that static shiv so he can start pushing waves even harder. I feel the team fight, it was a good rotation from both sides, but the Lulu came in way too late and was just sort of hung out to dry by her teammates who had to back off and respect the damage.
Yeah, that was a very... well, it couldn't be tasty of a sandwich, it was tasted all purple. But still, can't complain.
So we see bot lane. Jinx has that BF sword advantage over the pickaxe, so sort of trade-wise, she's looking to just get in Tristana's face, although she does have to be aware of the Tristana damage from that bomb, because she's already 4-pointed the explosive charge. She's going for the early max from it, and she
we
just has
see
so
that,
much all-in.
See that Yasuo actually went in with the ultimate. Shen still, that's a duel coming up, but it's just going in, out, in, out, in, out, and that's nearly going in on the Janna, onto the dry push, but now she's in a little bit of a trouble, has to be careful about not getting hit by a lot of damage. There comes the rocket, and it misses.
The tornado
and Wu
was
actually,
good, but...
yeah, Wu also raided it bottom, and Echo ganking on top, low health Shen, that's gonna be a kill, but is he gonna go down to the turret aggro? No, uses the ultimate to be safe.
That's an excellent dive there. Echo taking the aggro is obviously the thing that you want to happen because he has that ultimate that just makes him untargetable, takes away the aggro, no chance of getting a kill back. Really well played.
And we saw actually earlier that Shen was the one to engage onto Yasuo with Taunt, did a nice bit of damage, has that armor so he can finally start doing that damage. But then he was a little bit, so now what?
So the problem now is that they're sort of even for kill wise, but the gold deficit, it's a 1.1k gold deficit for Shen. I mean, that's 47 minions he's behind, and it's just such a massive sort of gap that he needs to close. At the minute he's sort of just looking for scrapes here and there. I like what he's doing in lane, but he really needs to sort of get every bit of CS from now on, possibly transition to a few jungle camps or scuttlers, and just look to make that global pressure that Shen is famous for. I mean, he's got ultimate up, so if something does go down, he has the ability to just jump in and try and make some kind of play. But at the minute, he's very much just a sort of shield bot at the minute.
Yeah, what's actually a little bit of a saving grace is that despite Yasuo taking down the turret, Shen now had the opportunity to freeze lane, get those minions, but I think he pushed the first wave and then realized what he was doing and was trying to freeze the second wave, which was at where the turret was.
A bit late on the uptake, but fortunately just a mistake in the wave forming. So bot lane turret goes down. Again, this is opening up quite a bit of the side of the map, but they really want that mid turret. You can already see 3 players positioning around. So much vision.
Trying to make their own bit of a sandwich onto Orianna, but gets spotted by wards, at least for Yasuo. Not sure if there was a ward on the bottom side of the river ward. But now they're going for another dragon. Let's see if Lily can be the hero that blue team needs for this one. Shen
is looking to be magic again.
Yeah, Shen was looking a little bit to be placed to ulti, but now there's a fight onto the top lane. Shen tried to use the ultimate, but Yasuo just cancelled it and is gonna pay for it. The last tornado comes and picks up that kill.
Dragon getting stolen again. Purple team, you need to work on your smiting.
Yeah, Echo is showing that who needs smiting when you can just flash into the enemy mid laner, a rocket. That's a super mega rocket for Orianna.
And that was mega. Taking down that Orianna just opens up so much pressure.
Oh,
she's the main threat.
Oh, you're a brave little cat. Jumping in against Echo while there's 3 members to back him up.
I mean, Lulu is so she can't get the shields from her, but Janna's also got shields as well, so there's not going to be a lot of takedown pressure. Like, she can't jump in and just nuke her, and it looks like they're just going to give up this mid turret.
Yeah, blue team might be having some bit of control over the objectives, but map-wise, on those turrets, it's the red team that are kind of also the objective, but like neutral objectives are being controlled at the moment by blue team.
I like the vision from red team, so we've got a few pink wards out, which are providing good vision of bot side river, and you've also got the try, so obviously if they're pushing, they're not going to sort of get flanked around the side. I would like to see the ward lines start to move up though, now that turrets are going down. I mean, once you start split pushing properly, Yasuo has no vision of that top side, so he can't successfully push without possibly falling to some kind of gank or just a squad of people just coming out and going for them.
Shen once again pushing nearby the mid of the top lane, and Yasuo, with no turret to back Shen up, just goes in, does nice bit of damage, and Shen has to go back, goes to farm the wolf camp.
Yeah, I like going to the camps, but it looks like Yasuo's got the same idea.
Yeah, but Orianna is gonna be there to back him up, so Yasuo has to be careful he doesn't turn this around. There comes the shockwave from Orianna, and already a half health down from Yasuo, and now they are chasing. Wimble comes in, blocks the auto attacks from Orianna, doesn't go first, tries to flank around. Another tornado comes and knocks him up, and Yasuo is gonna get away.
I'm quite surprised at that, to be honest. I think that Shockwave may have been used a bit lackluster, and it would have possibly been better to use on the chase so that you could pull him back, instead of when he was just taunted. But at the same time, I feel Yasuo is quite safe just running away because he has that movement speed. He's got the Merc Treads, he's got the Shiv, so he's got that bonus movement speed to just be able to walk in, walk out.
And now we see that the new challenger is approaching. This time it's a Nidalee and a Shen. But Yasuo turns the damage onto the Nidalee. Nidalee has to flash away. There comes a taunt. And Yasuo is still very low. Thresh is gonna come and flank it. But there's the... Janna came in and tried to shield, but was like, I can't shield you. I have to shield myself instead.
I feel the last breath being held there. I think there wasn't any way you were getting out of it, but you could have tried.
Tristana almost dying to the Jinx. Manages to dodge the Super Mega Death Rocket, but it cost her a flash.
A really good bit of pressure though, applying the bomb, taking the turret and then pushing up. This is really good because they're setting up for when the dragon's coming back up, I feel. It means they can get some deep vision, hopefully, but it looks like they're just going to walk on out. On one ward, it's better than none, I suppose, but it is... Oh, Jinx possibly getting it.
Yeah,
oh,
Thresh.
That's
a bit too late on that, mate.
That's just...
But yeah, Dragon are actually coming up in 2 minutes, so they got the ward in, so it would have lasted for 1 minute, giving them a sight of the enemy team, so making sure that they can't steal. But yeah, it was only just 1 ward. I think there is another ward by the red buff, but that doesn't give a whole lot of information.
Yeah, I feel this is possibly a problem from Echo not having a Sightstone. I would have liked to see that, because then he could have got some deep wards there, and it looks like we're going to break into some action.
Yeah, Thresh just trying to clear out the pink ward, but it's a dead ward, because Yasuo and Janna are both piling up, but Thresh manages to get away. But another flash burned.
I feel a bit of miscommunication there. Shenel that came down in the middle, and she could have stuck around, but she did jump back over. Possibly worried about the damage, but I feel there could have been a lot more pressure applied there.
Yeah, and now the whole thing has turned into a 5-man push from the boost side. Echo tries to go in with the parallel conventions, doesn't get the stun onto anyone. Tristana put the explosive charge onto the turret, does a nice bit of damage, but Jinx is pushing the top lane turret, and she's gonna get the turret if they don't respond, and she gets it. And now Yasuo actually goes in, gets the knockup onto Orianna, Final Breath comes through, and a nice bit of damage, but a shockwave kills Janna just where she can, doesn't get the Monsuna, that's a lie, but Yasuo is still in the middle of the doing damage, and there comes the Super Mega Death Rocket doing damage onto the AoE area, and gets kill onto the Thresh, and now Jinx is chasing onto the Nidalee, but Nidalee is gonna get away.
And that is how you use Shockwave.
Oh, she's going in for the Orianna, gets a stab, gets one auto, gets second auto, and that's dead Orianna.
And that is how you dive an Orianna, apparently. Beautiful setup there. So the Shockwave came out really strong in that team fight. The Janna went down to lay down her ultimate, but got instantly cancelled. Damage coming down, but that Jinx, just too much damage at this point. And they're going for drag.
Yeah, if Nidalee steals this, there is no pancakes in the world. Thank God it doesn't happen.
The only way to make sure that your enemy jungler does not steal it, make sure they are nowhere near. Possibly because they're either dead or just in base.
Or the most preferable option is to have her hostage on your base while you just take that neutral objective. But you can't have that, so you take the second best thing, kill her.
Just make sure she's either away or just, you know, not at home. The lights are on, but no one's home. The vision control now, so they've got some vision in bot lane, which is good for Dragon, but at the minute, blue side has got 4 wards scattered around that bottom side. But I don't feel they need all those wards. I mean, they're all sort of in the same area, but the one at blue side, fair. The one at Tri, fair. But the one at the river doesn't really give them a lot of information. I mean,
oh, Jinx actually walking into a bush, but the jumpers, they're running around, and Jinx gets a return kill. Tristana not going in at all. Dress lands a jet with the sentence, but there's the wind wall to cancel it out. There's a 2-man knockup. Yasuo goes in with the last breath, gets the kill onto the Tristana. No more damage from the backline, and now Yasuo is focusing onto the Shen, who's now flashed over the wall. Meanwhile, Lulu got the kill, and that's double kill for Yasuo.
Now that was a sandwich and a half. The full play there. So Yasuo going in with the last breath and then diving straight past, taking a lot of damage from Baron though.
Yeah, let's see if Orianna can summon her inner power of evil. Deal with the Baron with Orianna. Not gonna happen though.
That was very well played there. So losing that many members, you can just transition it into whatever you want, and an early Baron is not to be scoffed at. Going to apply a lot more pressure to these lanes. They can either group up and just push down one lane, or what I'd like to see is split up, make sure that Yasuo is in a side lane, preferably with deep vision. So you're probably going to want him in that top side because he's got a little bit, but I'd really like to see some deep wards going down.
Yeah, the whole thing just went wrong. They were trying to dive things on the top lane.
Yeah.
No vision on the dry bush. Nidalee was just sitting there, got the spear, went in, but the Tristana never followed it up. One auto or two could have been a kill, but now Yasuo is on the bottom lane and so is Tristana. I've seen this before.
Offensive.
That's not good! Gets the final
Oh,
breath
that is
to
your
read this
last
rocket
breath,
jump!
and that is all
Holy
she wrote.
cow!
Full play.
That's a fly in your door. Getting
She's not
taken
flying
down.
now because she is midly cancelling the recall.
Tries this again, tries to ambush from the bush. Again, it just goes horribly wrong, and now she's being chased. Paranormal Convention goes to the bush. Nidalee realizes this, manages to flash away, but he's still running. Has to go to the bush to get the movement speed, but there is no mini wave that Yasuo can sprint, and actually Nidalee just trying to give up. Tries to juke it. You can't really escape that.
So much movement speed on this Yasuo. Triforce picked up as well.
Yeah, now Orianna takes out the damage from Jinx. Jinx has the aggro, Lulu has to burn the wild growth, and they disengage.
Possibly a little unnecessary on that wild growth. I feel they may have been able to hold it, but that's going to be a lot of pressure taken away from the team fights. But Baron is still ticking at the minute, and still got a good chunk of it left, but they really need to start pushing in, possibly looking to get an inhibitor soon.
Yeah, there comes the Echo one. Actually, goes in, but goes back, but gets death sentence. That's a nice hook, but there's not really much of a damage, except for the Jinx, who got a nice crit.
That Shen did so much damage on the engage there. Once the taunt went down, he just started lacing into doing so much damage from the Sunfire and the autos. Oh, and in mid.
Yeah, Yasuo once again tries to get the actually not going for the ultimate. Got the knockup but didn't choose it. There comes a knockup that almost hit Tristana.
The Golden Cat keeping Nidalee safe. That was just beautiful play.
Yeah, it looked kind of weird. It looked like Yasuo activated his ulti, but then I looked, it's not up. So it's kind of weird to see.
So I feel the last breath was probably cancelled due to the Zhonya's going off, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think that's what happened, because the sound animation went off.
Taking away the blue buff as well.
Yeah, Thresh landing another hook. But if you follow that, that's a death sentence only for you. Now Tristana with a bit pinned between the Para Convergence and an Echo, but manages to jump away from harm's way. So now the red team is pushing the mid lane and the bottom lane.
This is what I like. I like applying pressure to multiple lanes because you force somebody to have to deal with the problems.
That spear was very close. Not sure if it was enough damage, but it's not about the damage, it's about if it hits or not. Like this hook lands on Tristana, is very nice, but you don't have to go through with it, you can just enjoy that you landed that hook.
I think that's fine. I mean, he's quite afraid of this Yasuo. and the Jinx, who is mid lane, just doing so much damage right now. I mean, the Infinity Edge BF Sword and Static Shiv is just going to deal so much damage from those crits. But at the same time, once she completes that Bloodthirster, she's just going to be so tanky and survivable due to all these shields that they've got in their team comp. I feel it's a really well executed Protect the Jinx comp.
Okay, Dragon 4 goes to the red team. They're pulling a reverse sweep on the dragons. Now 2 and 2 on the dragons.
Starting to like this vision control as well. So we've got a pink ward deep in the enemy jungle. Nidalee hasn't walked through that, and that's mainly due to the fact that the jungle pathing wouldn't take her there. So that's a really smart ward gun down there. Bot side, we see a few decent wards pushing in quite deep. Pink wards and just normal standard greens. But it's looking really nice.
Jinx
Infinity
actually...
Edge picked up on Yasuo.
Yeah, Jinx actually has enough money to go back and get a Bloodthirster, but chooses to split push with the team, and now the junglers are going against each other. This is not good for Nidalee. You don't have very anything, except for Sonius. But what you gonna do? Dead. Monsoon comes through just to add some nice heals and make sure that nobody jumps in.
It looks like cat shish kebabs are on the menu tonight, because she just got skewered by that Tempest.
Ah. And now Yasuo is shifting his focus onto the top lane. Tristana gets 1 hit, gets 2 hit, and he is almost dead. Super Mega Jet Rocket comes through, but Tristana manages to dodge it. Echo goes in.
That time.
And now they get the top lane turret. Echo gets hooked. Another follow-up comes through. There's a shockwave coming onto the Jinx, and now they ignite, but the Wild Growth saves him for a very short time because the Orianna and Shen are the ones to pick it up. Orianna goes out of base, flashes back in, there's Shen ulti, but there's the Yasuo ulti, comes through onto the 3 members, gets the kill, but doesn't get the second one because it's Tristana who picks up the second kill. Meanwhile, on the top side of the base,
I think you've really got to be worried here. Echo's not gonna do a lot of damage, and this Shen is a machine right now. Just spamming shields, taunts, just everything.
Yeah, but he has to be careful. Almost goes down. If it would have, that would have been an ace. And a guarantee inhibitor. That's the inhibitor. He's not gonna go down. See, if you would have gotten the kill, that would have been an inhibitor. Tries to taunt, not in range. And the Wu ulti and movement speeds. You're not gonna catch that, little fella.
Too long of a cooldown on that taunt to really keep the chase up, and there wasn't a lot of follow-up. I mean, even if he had got onto the Lulu, she had a lot of mana. She would have been able to just whimsy, she would have been able to just get that help picks on and just do enough to keep people alive.
Yeah, blue team trying to get as much from the jungle as they can, because it's pretty much controlled by the red team, but their focus is on the Baron vision so far. Without the vision and the Rift Scuffler, blue team has no idea that's going on. They might have an idea, they don't know it.
Baron.
Yeah, look at the movement, the blue team is on the bottom side of the jungle, absolutely no idea, even no pings coming through that. Hey, Baron?
And this is the problem, is that vision. Look how well it's been controlled by the red team. They've just pushed up, they've got the pinks down, they've got the wards down, they know whether they're coming or not, and they have no idea.
This is not wise. Yasuo is level 18, none of you is higher than 14. Yasuo goes in with a 1v3, gets a double kill in the lane, while we see that camera is onto Echo, who picks up the kill onto the Orianna. And now Yasuo is a little bit low, but Shen is not tanky enough against the Yasuo. A 1v3 with the triple kill. And now Nidalee is the only one surviving. Yasuo going back to base, and then teleporting back full health, taking no risk. And comes in with a home card, takes a lot of damage! And that's an ace.
Just did the extra damage, and I think that might be GG for our first game.
Yeah, Jinx is pushing the top lane. Wave goes 1 turret, there goes 2nd one, and that is going to be a game. They managed to get the going away party gift for Thresh.
Double ace. And that's going to be the GGs and the well plates coming down.
Yeah, 15 and 4 on the Yasuo.
That Yasuo did work. That's all you can say.
Yeah, it's really nice when you get the highest ranking player on the team, a carry like Yasuo, and just let him play the way he plays. He played a little bit. Well, I don't want to say wrong, but he played a little bit bad like when the first gank came through.
I mean, that
you
Yasuo just, you can't really stop him. I mean, you saw them just going on, and they just couldn't do anything to him. Like, it didn't matter if you sent 3 people, it didn't matter if you sent all of them, they just got destroyed.
Yeah, well, that's the end of game 1. Let's see if we're gonna get anything crazy going on the game 2.
Yep, so just be a minute now, guys, so if you'll bear with us, we'll be back in a minute with game 2.
Sound muted. Sound resumed.
The game.
Sound resumed.
You have to come to TeamSpeak. That's where we are. Well, not where you are, but we're here on our own channel casting the game. And you wanna join us for in-house games? Just make sure to come at houseparty5v5.typefrag.com.
Just go on and jump on into the EUS lobby and see if we can grab you for the next games.
Sound muted.